Hey Nitish, how are you?
Hi Reggie, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Good as well. Hi everyone. I think we will wait for 2 more minutes or so, and then we'll start.
Hello.
Hi.
All right.
Alex, can you help me with recording?
I cannot. I don't have the access, I think. Michael's not there. I think Leo's here. I can ask Leo to join.
I mean, I see it as recording, but I'm not sure where that recording goes or where is it uploaded even. Thanks.
mm, yes. Yeah.
Worst case, if Leo can join, then we will just hope for the best with the recording that's taking place currently. And then we'll start.
Yeah, but Leo was on support last week, so or on triage, so I guess he should join. Um,
Okay. So shall I wait 1 minute more or shall we start? What do you think?
Yeah, Alex MT, is Alex here? Neither. So yeah, the two people on triage last week are not here yet. Hopefully they'll join.
Okay, so maybe we can start meanwhile, and then if they join, we come back to the triage. So hi everyone, I will be hosting today's contributor meeting. And first of all, I would like to to ask whether there are volunteers for triage for next week.
I can do primary.
I can take secondary.
Thanks, Alex and Nitish. Okay. Okay. So first of all, thanks to everyone who reviewed PRs and merged PRs this week. We have some really nice stats with Alexander leading as the reviews for Argo CD, and then we have Bijang Dev and Michael, and yeah, there's still really nice stats in there, and yeah, Zach rocks for Argo rollout, so thanks a lot for that. Oh, Leo has is Leo here?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Hi, Leo.
Hello.
So first of all, thank you for being on triage this week. I see that you have an issue for discussion.
Yeah. This one I checked this morning, and it seems that there is an issue with Redis. So the user is complaining about increase in CPU usage in newer version. I checked our internal infrastructure, and I see similar behavior in our case. So I think we should investigate this. Yeah, I think this is an important one. I didn't
Okay.
follow exactly. Not sure if someone in the call is aware of the latest changes in Redis. I remember some discussions like updating Redis version in the newer Argo CD releases, but not. I didn't follow that closely, so it could be related, but I think it deserves some eyes here.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll
Thanks
try
for
to
doing
Yeah, I'll
this.
try to dedicate some time on this myself. Let's see if I find time for doing that.
Okay, thanks. If not, let us know so we can look. Oh, there is another issue, I see. This one is closed.
Yeah, this is Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. So the other person is complaining about the HA server, which is what I think runs Sentinel. Yeah, it could be related to this.
I think HA server is just the pod, and Sentinel was the container
Right.
was
Yeah.
problematic. So in the new issue, it's missing a bit of information to know which container is actually problematic.
Mhm.
It looks like this is a Redis HA server.
Yeah, but this is the pod,
This is
right?
pod. Yeah,
It's
that's the
not
pod.
even the pod.
This
This
is not
is
the
the
container. Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
which container it is. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Leo, for raising this.
Yeah, no problem. That's it for me.
Okay. Is Alexander M here? No. Okay. So as I'm running this call, it would feel to me a little unfair to start with the two items. So maybe I will come back to myself a little later. Maybe we can start with Yaten. Is Yaten here?
Oh, yeah, am I audible?
Hi.
Hi. So actually, I wanted to ask, and I think gave some reviews on this, but I was having some doubt in that. Like if we check the first comment, it's written that we have to we have to make the function such that it accepts the live object and return the client in return of it. But I'm not able to understand why we actually require a live object client, because in the new import command in the run function, the live object client is not being used. The backup object client is actually being used. So
We're not talking about. Are we talking about this comment?
the above one, yeah, this one.
Oh, okay. So you have a discussion with Alex. Alex, do you have any comments on this? Any input?
I mean, other than what was the comment, I'm not actively reviewing the implementation. I don't have time to review really how to implement it.
Okay, so maybe this pull request needs more attention from someone who's currently more available to help progress.
I know, Nitish, you were a bit more, you were also involved in this one. Do you have time to work with Yatin on this one?
Um, I can help Yatin regarding this. But coming to the question, I think I did not fully understand what's the question about. But I'll text Yatin on Slack and we can get this fixed as soon as possible.
Yes, yes, sure, sure,
Because
sure. Definitely.
yeah, it's even labeled as good first issue, so I think it won't even take much of a time. But we'll figure this out on the Slack.
Oh, the,
Yeah,
the
sure, we
goal of
can.
this PR is to add tests in one of the commands we have. Is it the goal? I'm missing the goal of this PR.
So
Yeah,
this PR
100% having unit test.
it was actually adding about export and import. I added it for the export, and I think Yatin is working on adding it for the import
I
command.
see.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, will that be possible, Nitish, for you to work with Yatin offline on this?
For sure, for sure. I'll text Yatin on the Slack and I'll get this done as soon as possible.
Thanks a lot, Nitish.
Thank you.
Okay. Rafa, is Rafa here?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Rafa. Want to give
Hello.
some context on this?
Yes, this is a PR that I've been working since April. There's some back and forth, but long story short, I hope I finish all this work to update Kubernetes modules to at least for the latest 130 release. And where I'm coming from, I work for Stormforge. We do patches for a living, and the exposure of we are having, and hence the fix with the new libraries is we cannot do patches for rollout, and we have a couple customers being affected. And I don't want to use the word desperation, but we are really looking forward to get Argo rollout, updating Kubernetes libraries, using modern Kubernetes libraries, if you will. That's the fix that we are pursuing here. And some of those customers, I end up giving the CRD from my branch to fix patching.
I see that this is planned for milestone 1.9. I see Zach in the call. Zach, do you have
Yeah,
maybe more?
I just
Yeah.
pulled it now. I can try to get it reviewed here today. I have a couple other people pinging me for stuff. I just need to make sure that the upgrade paths are fine. It'll just take me a little bit. I'll try to get it today though.
Yeah,
Zach,
updating library is not a super simple task. We need to make sure it's passing all the tests and
There's no test for a lot of the stuff that's going to be in it. Is the problem
right.
rollouts does a bunch of weird things with manual manipulation of the CRDs and with various. I just need to look at it. It's non-trivial. I'll spend some time today. Like I said, I just pulled the branch, and I'm looking at running it now. So
Zach, feel free to reach out to me anytime. This is getting super critical for Stormforge.
okay, I will do that.
And I know that's not trivial. That's why there's so many commits back and forth.
Yeah,
Feel free to squash them if you merge, etc. But yeah, I pretty much I can put my life on hold just to get this past us.
okay. Good.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Zach, and thanks, Rafa. Okay, Christian and Alex. There is a pull request. Oh, revert to version change. Okay. Alexander, do you want to give us some context on this?
Yeah, we need to review if we want to release 3.1. So basically there was a kind of breaking change in 3.1 that during the RC it ended up that it wasn't working, and it was waiting for a fix in Elm. It's been fixed in I think Elm v4, but not v3. Now it's been merged in v3. Won't be cherry picked. I mean, won't be released yet, and is not cherry picked in previous M versions. So the whole change, I think, needs to be reverted. And this is the PR to unblock 3.1.
And like making we after we revert it, then basically if we would like to fix the original issue and you know to
Yeah,
address the original
the PR
problem,
does both.
what would be the effort to do that?
The PR does both, so it reverts the change, but also fix the issue, the original issue that the PR intended to fix.
Oh, okay. So this one both. So this one reverses the change, right? There is a separate PR for like the complete fix, or
No, that's the PR. There's just
that's the
one.
PR. Okay. Okay. So basically, you're just asking for more eyes on this to look at that.
Yep.
Just a question. So the PR that it's eventually reverting the changes, is that issue still going to be opened, or is the current PR solving that?
It's solving the original issue as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I will look into that. I think that probably I will only be able to look at that though on Sunday. So if there is anyone available before tomorrow, then it will also be great. Okay. Thank you, Alex. Okay. So I wanted to discuss the Bitnami images that we use in Argo CD tests. So our production image, the official Argo CD image, does not use Bitnami images, but we're using those in tests. And also Argo Helm uses Bitnami images in the CI. And with their latest announcement about changing how they handle the public catalog and the builds and the expected rate limit on pulling those images, I'm basically wondering, so this will become effective on August 28th. So I'm wondering whether there is a high priority in removing the references to Bitnami images from those places, or we were not going to necessarily be impacted in a bad way.
So you're suggesting, I guess I'm missing your suggestion, Reggie. Is it to remove the Bitnami? Is there an issue for that?
Yeah, I'm basically asking whether the fact that they're changing the policy on August 28th, whether it makes a high priority to remove the references to the Bitnami images and to replace them with other ones. Like, for example, in the test Docker file, I think we were using Bitnami Redis. And for the test, we're using a couple of other Bitnami Helm charts.
And in which policy are you referring to exactly?
Oh, I didn't link it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Just
trying
a
to find
second. Yeah.
limited community. Only the most recently. It sounds
So,
like we can't pin it, so we have to pull latest is what I'm getting.
so I understand that they're basically not going to provide like build images anymore. Still open source, but I think that they're not going to provide build images for most of the things. And this looks like a paid solution.
Except for the community tiered ones are basically still allowed to pull latest only, is how I'm reading it, right?
Yeah, that's my understanding too.
Do we use do we pin a version or do we pull latest currently?
Maybe just something that's worth to check, but I mean, I would imagine that we use bin tags. I hope we
Yeah,
use bin tags for tests.
I mean,
I've
yeah,
I've
I don't know.
searched for latest. I haven't found any use of latest
Okay.
Bitnami images.
Okay.
So it means we're using pin versions.
Are we using
I think we could change it to legacy URL.
yeah,
It's going to stay available, so the sync won't break immediately.
the legacy, yeah, so we could in theory go to legacy and stay in there until we need to change the versions.
But legacy catalog will receive no further updates. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like only temporary.
But it's not critical. It's test and some CI usage, so it's not going to cause any security issues
yeah,
with our product.
I think we should probably switch to that as we discussed a longer term solution essentially. Because August 28th around the corner.
Yeah.
So I would switch to the legacy image and then we should probably discuss what we want to do.
I mean, for Redis, wherever we use it, we don't have to use Bitnami because what we distribute with our manifest, basically, it's the ECR distribution. So
Sure, could switch to that then. Is it just Redis? Is it small? Is it only?
So I have searched where we use Bitnami. It is Redis, but there are also charts that we use from their
Sure.
not like images, but also charts. Bitnami charts that.
Does this affect charts though? It sounds like this doesn't affect charts. I don't know. Oh, Helm charts, containers and Helm charts. Interesting.
No, wait. So this is related to the image.
Failing to pull images. Repository, all existing container image. Sure. It sounds like they're not doing anything with the chart hosting itself, though, right?
I think so from what I read, and I'm still not positive about the exact meaning of this.
Yeah. It sounds like we should, if it's just a couple images and we have alternatives, maybe switching the Docker images to pull from them, but still using their charts is an option.
Yeah, I think we can start with that.
Yeah.
Let me make a note about that. First of all, I will link to the thing.
Just turn. Hmm. Control.
So are we going to switch to the legacy or just for Redis to the same image that we use for the actual image of Argo CD?
I think using the one that we use for Argo CD makes the most sense.
Yeah, also makes sense to me. Okay, are there any more inputs on this? Okay, thanks, Zach and Evgeny. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to discuss is basically we currently have a coupling between docs updates and our Argo CD releases. And actually, for 90% of the changes, it makes a lot of sense because we're adding documentation for some new feature or for some change in functionality. And so this documentation should not be stable before the actual feature goes stable. So it kind of makes sense that once we release, we have the changes and the documentation that's relevant for them together. But sometimes in the documentation, we make changes that are really not related to any of the Argo CD functionality. For example, one of the popular changes is just writing who is going to be the next release champion. Or sometimes you just add documentation for existing functionality and just the documentation just wasn't good enough. And so nothing's changed in Argo CD, just the documentation changed. Or we make quite a lot of changes to the developer guide just to answer needs that are coming from different people as they try to contribute to Argo CD on those different environments. And currently, all those documentation changes will only be visible under the stable version of the documentation once there is a release. They're still going to be visible under the latest section of the docs, but people are not going to go there by default. They're going to go to the latest documentation, so they will not see those changes unless someone links them somewhere explicitly. And so I wanted to ask whether we can make those two things, the release and the documentation, less coupled, at least for some specific, well-defined cases.
We don't cherry pick those. So like if I make a change, like a documentation change, right? And like you said, like it's like a spelling, right? Right, mistake. And do we cherry pick though? Like, because I would think like just cherry picking the change to that release would be enough, unless I'm missing something.
So we're mostly doing that. We are cherry picking those kinds of things, but then we don't really cut a new release every day, and then sometimes you fix something that can be a little, I wouldn't say urgent, maybe relevant, but then it will only be visible on the stable version of the documentation when we perform any release that it was cherry picked to.
Gotcha.
Read
So
the docs always. I'm sorry, go ahead, Christian.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, no. So basically, you cherry pick, and then, but only when we do that release, right? Like if we do a 3.1.1 release or whatever, that would be
Yeah, like
only.
for
Gotcha.
example, you see, for example, if I'm looking right now at stable and I will go to the upgrade section, then yeah, so at stable, I just see, no, that's okay. Actually, it's not a good example what I've just given. But
No,
there is,
I know I know what you're saying, because I ran into that where it's like
oh,
there's something in
let's look for the release.
latest. Yeah, there's something in latest that actually also applies to stable, but since we didn't, since it wasn't cherry picked or we haven't done a release or whatever, it's not
Haven't
there
done a
yet.
release.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, if I'm looking at the release champion,
I think the stable just mentions about what's the latest release, and that makes it easier for the customers to actually see what changes are there. This is more towards the developer changes, like the release champion or something is something which we as maintainers or contributors care about. So we would just go ahead and check the latest. We would just go ahead and see the latest instead of the stable, because anything in stable would be expected, like we have shipped something. That's what is my understanding when we see the stable.
Yeah, I agree with Ishita. You can change the URL to latest and you'll see the latest from the docs if you want.
yeah, it's true. Like you see here, the last one is 3.0. Now, if I go to latest, then we'll suddenly see Christian's name, which we didn't before. But people mostly, people will mostly go to stable. They will they will never or almost never go explicitly to latest, because they will not know that something that's relevant for today has changed. I've ran into this when I was updating the documentation about some progression that I discovered with 3.0. And it was at the beginning, it was just a documentation change, but I thought that it was important also for people who are currently working. But that change couldn't enter until we made some release. So maybe if we have a way to distinguish changes that are related to functionality and changes that are more, I don't know, I don't know how to name them, categorize them properly, but changes of this kind.
It feels like you should be able to cherry pick the change to something and get it to show up in stable somehow.
Yeah, it will show in stable after a release was created for that cherry pick. But
Sure.
sometimes it can take a week or later until we actually make a new release.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that somehow a documentation change should maybe be able to go out right away, maybe stable. Like, I think that should maybe be the workflow, but I don't know how the implementation would work to decouple. Yes. I guess what I'm saying is I think your idea is fine.
Yes, same. I agree. I guess now it's just trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Okay, maybe if the idea is accepted, then maybe we can communicate offline on ways to implement that. Okay. So I think that we're run out of the topics in the planned agenda. So unless someone has any other topic they would like to bring up, you will get 12 minutes of your time back.
If we have time, I was thinking I can just maybe speak out loud about what, so this is regarding this issue about progressive sync. And I know that a lot of people were facing issues where the sync was going out of order. And that comment was by Dan, where they kind of mentioned. So this was in May, where we discussed what could the issue be, and there are like a few workarounds. So I just wanted to mention that I've been working on it and trying to reproduce the issue, but I've not had like consistent luck in reproducing it. So like the race conditions and all of those, I think there was it's faced in like multiple areas. First of all would be syncing out of order. Then even in the same step, when the max update is listed as let's say one, there were like max update is not being, if max update is one, but the like users saw that there were more than one applications progressing at the same time. So yeah, I think there's are like a bunch of issues around this, which are because of this root cause. So I guess my ask right now would be if anyone has had any experience in reproducing this issue consistently. I've been trying to like scale up the number of applications that I'm rolling out in the application set, and also the number of applications in each step. Sorry. And then reducing. I actually tried, I'm now thinking maybe reducing the jitter can also increase the frequency of seeing this issue. But yeah, like.
Yeah, it can. Definitely can. I have a question. So are you trying to reproduce the situation? I mean, would it be, I guess it would be sufficient to have the resources that application manages, right? We're talking about their sync status, because eventually the application status will be affected by the status of the resources, right? The managed resources. Okay. So I can offer maybe one thing. It's not a really explicit repro scenario, but this can happen for custom resources whose operators don't populate the how is this Kubernetes field called version generated version or something. I keep forgetting it.
Yeah.
I will search for it. So basically, except for the resource version, there is another field which the operator should update when the controller sees that the resource version have changed in the metadata of the resource, and then the operator should do stuff. And while it's doing this stuff, right, it should also update that other field in order to indicate that it saw the change and now it's working, but it didn't finish working yet. And so not all the operators are working this way. And for the ones that are not doing this correctly, this issue may be reproduced. I can search later for the name for the name of this field.
Yeah. I think it is generated version. I mean, I kind of get the idea that what you're referring to. So yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a nice idea. I'll try that approach. Thank you.
Also, one more thing to try is basically if you look at how we implement the resource health in the Argo CD built-in resource customizations. So there is explicit handling of this generated version field.
Okay.
And so maybe some of those can be altered to ignore this field, and then maybe you will be able to reproduce the problem. That's another idea.
Gotcha.
If anyone else has experience with this and can offer additional directions, it would be great. Okay.
Thanks.
Any other topics? Okay, so thanks a lot, everyone. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you, Reggie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.